Hello class, so I make this video to have some clarifications and explain more about the data set, especially in the files that I uploaded here in the midterm section. So we will open this file. So this is how it looks like for the dataset sample. So I have already here inputted some data. Okay, so this is an example of a data set. So this example is not a hard copy questionnaire that I distributed to the respondents, but it is based on the Google form. So the data from the Google form was automatically downloaded or transferred to an Excel file or Google Sheet. So here we can see that there are three parts: part 1, part 2, and part 3. So I'll show you the questionnaire of this data set. So this is the questionnaire of the data set. You can see also here we have part 1. We also have part 2. And then we also have part 3. So for your data set, you need also to have three parts. Okay, so you can see here part 1, part 2, and part 3. Okay. So for the part 1, this is the demographic profile. Okay. So this is just only an example. So as you can see here, I've used the gender instead of sex because in BISO unified format, we use the sex instead of the gender. So in the left side, you can see here R1 until R385 means that there are 385 respondents. R means respondents. Okay, so under the demographic profile, as you can see here in the questionnaire, we have here age, gender, academic program covered, year level, and familiarity with technology. So in the upper part, you can also see here the age, gender, academic program covered, year level, and familiarity with technology. So R1, these are the responses from the respondent 1 or the first respondent. So her age is 22. She's female under the business and management program, academic program, and she's fourth year. And as to familiarity with technology, she is very familiar. So you're going to input all the responses of the different respondents. Okay, so for the part 2, you can see here, part 2, levels of students' motivation and the use of educational technology and teaching learning materials. So we also have here for rating skills, and then it is answerable by the 4 scale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, so for your data set here, part 2, again, the 2A 2.A.1, that is the first item, 2.A.1. Okay, for example, here she answered 4. So in your questionnaire, the respondents so obviously put a check mark here in the 4. So you're going to input the 4, so on and so forth. So 2.A.1, that's the educational technology. And for the 2.B.1 up to 2.B.15, that is the teaching learning materials. Okay, so for the part 2, the respondents answered using the 4 scale. And then for the part 3, as you can see here, there are two different views here per problems and per responses. So I think some of you only have this part 2 of the um, rating scale. Some might have a part 3 but with the same setup, the 4-3-2-1. So for those who have this kind of questionnaire like this one, this is called check as many as you encounter, for example. So the respondents might check in the item number 1 but not in item number 2, and he or she is allowed to check as many as he encountered. He might check in the 1, 5, 7, 8, 13, 14, and 20, for example. So you are going to count the total number of respondents who check on this particular item. So it means that there are um, out of out of 385 respondents, there are 297 respondents who check on the first item, slow or unstable internet connection. Okay, so there are 297 out of 385 encounter this particular problem. Okay, so you're going to count the number of responses. As you can see also here in part 2, I have put a formula here at the bottom part. So this is average or the mean. Okay, so you'll just edit the number of responses here and input the responses of each respondents. Okay, so this is your assignment for data set part in the midterm section. So possibly next week, since we extended our deadline for the data set, so at that time you are going to compute using the frequency, percentage, and weighted mean and others. Okay, so I hope that it's clear. And then if you have question or clarification, just drop it down in our group chat. Bye bye.